So then you get to the next section where you basically get a very mysterious cutscene of what you presume is the cyber ninja you saw from Oslo. What do you think of those cutscenes?
I really liked them. Yeah, I thought they were great. Definitely one of the things when I first think, at least the Metal Gear Solid 1 version of Grey Fox is, again, it felt very horror, like coming down the hallway, dead bodies, stuff all over the wall, bloodbath, and you're like, oh god, what the hell did this? And then you're like, is it that Grey Fox? You know, that's Cyber Ninja.
Well, the cool thing is you actually see a bit of with stealth camo on, the Cyber Ninja still fucking people up at that time.
Yeah, you do a little bit ahead of you.
Yeah, just ahead of you. And this is what I was on about the music. Where does that...
It's great music.
I don't know what you would describe it as, like jumpy, distorted music.
Yeah.
And that's where the horror comes into play.
Yeah.
And the camera as well.
It's so supernatural at this point.
Does some different close-ups to the bodies and stuff. And yeah, at that point, you're like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, again, immersion is so much immersion in this game. It's such a reoccurring pattern.
Very mysterious, very good. And like I said, at that point, he's taking out enemies, but you know, you're kind of like, well, you're fighting my enemies, so you're good.
His motivations aren't clear at this point. What is he going for? What is he doing? You get the feeling like he's killing my enemies, but I don't think he's my friend.
Yeah, he doesn't seem friendly. And he's not just killing them, he's messing them up big time.
Yeah.
He's the wild card in this game.
Yeah.
Obviously, you go into there, you obviously get a cutscene, you see Opticon for the first time, who's peeing his pants.
Yeah, obviously this is kind of a comedy character, but not always comedy character. Very smart individual.
He has some emotional moments, but yeah, he's definitely the comedy sidekick to...
Design the nuke.
Design the nuke. Obviously worked on in the base. Now Grey Fox is interrogating
against his will.
Yeah. Something that,
again reoccurring.
Yes. Now he's obviously interrogating Grey Fox, and then obviously you get so much mysterious here, and this is obviously where it comes into play of they don't care about alienating newcomers. Now I feel like most of this game is. Most of it's fine for newcomers.
A lot of it.
But obviously there is some moments that's like completely not. And I think this character, probably one of the most, is very much you don't have a clue what the hell this guy's on about, which actually kind of adds a bit to it, because it's the wild card. But when he starts talking about Solid Snake and he knows your name and he says, I've been waiting for this ride. I don't have a clue what's going on.
Yeah, we don't know you. We never been introduced to you.
He does drop
obviously there is the old games. And you know, there is much story as they are. You know, if you go back to their Grey, I don't think Grey Fox shines there too much story wise. Again, I want to get a shout at this point at Portable Loms. If you want the origin story and you're a Grey Fox fan, you've got to play Portable Loms.
Portable Loms for sure. You know, yeah, the Metal Gear on is it the SNES, I believe?
Yeah, that's the SNES.
Metal Gear 1 and 2, they don't do much story wise. But obviously he's had that history with Solid Snake. We'll go into that, like I said, more into the character of the Grey Fox. But I kind of feel that adds the mystery to Grey Fox, which I loved. He's a crazy cyborg ninja that knows your name and wants to fight you. He's been waiting for this fight for so long, and you're just like, I don't know who you are, mate. I don't want to have any problem.
And the character clearly has been through a lot. Is unstable,
mentally unstable, big time. You can see it obviously during the fight where he shakes his head, electric sparks come out, and he's shouting. And actually, I think he smashes his head off a few walls at that point.
Yeah, you kind of feel bad for him, but you're still not sure what's going on with him.
Yeah, so then you have a boss fight with him, which is a tricky boss fight.
It is. It's the first real test.
No doubt. Yeah, because also like you might die once or twice, but this one, it kicked my ass for a while.
It's a hard one. It's a hard one because he does cloak and disappear and come here.
He can come at you from any angle.
Yeah, especially again as playing at the time was way harder.
Yeah.
You know, now this boss battle is made easier in a different game. If you remember the Twin Snakes, yeah. So we have the first person.
Right.
Yeah, so if you, this is not really tips to beat it, but if you sit in a corner in first person, it's a cakewalk. That fight is a cakewalk.
Alright.
But, you know, I love like walking around because it's a terrifying boss battle.
Because when you can come from
And he
anywhere,
can hurt you badly.
he can do damage.
You know, and you obviously got your rations, and sometimes like you go to the corner and you can see like a clothes thing. Like you're right in that corner. I will say, as an adult going back, I pretty destroyed him, but still had all that feeling to it.
Well, and you can hear his footsteps when he's invisible as well, which is freaky. But yeah, it's like with any boss battle in the Metal Gear franchise. Once you know the formula, because I still know the formula to take him down. Because the main problem I had was obviously him coming at in different angles. But I found a formula. It was like, doesn't matter what any angle you're coming in, I'm gonna be one step ahead.
Yeah.
Won't go too much into
But again, as a kid, a lot harder.
A lot harder. I never said, well, if you've not played the game before,
Yeah.
I don't think you would beat it first time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know, the earlier, easier difficulties, I don't know. Maybe these are difficulties.
Yeah, maybe these are difficulties. But on normal, you might die a couple of times.
You probably will.
But yeah, that's what I think is one of the better bosses. Just because I like how he's invisible and CQC involved, and yeah, and
it's pretty much everything I want from a boss encounter.
Yeah, pretty much. Cool character,
Good
cool,
music,
unique one, and
the build up to going into it.
It's multi-stage bosses as well, because he goes into
yeah, he starts going psychopath more.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, you finish him. You get a bit more dialogue with him, where he talks about how long he's waited, and then he just leaves.
Yeah.
Obviously, the second, third actually, if you count Vulcan Raven, a guy that you've seen that you've not killed, and he's I think he's more of a wild card even after that, because he wants to fight you. He's been waiting for the fight for so long. He just had a boss fight with you, and then he's ran off, and it's like, you're fighting everyone.
And he believes in this game that his destiny is to fight you.
Fights the little snake.
So.
It's also just another clue of who he is. And that's obviously where Octocon and Snake meet for the first time, which is quite iconic. And Octocon basically is, not going to go too much into it, but he obviously helps Snake, and they move forward on their plan. And then you eventually meet up with Meryl. So you meet up with her, and then you get, which is already possibly my favourite part of the game, is then you meet the commander, Psycho Mantis. Describe the first cutscene that you see of you and Meryl at the start before you even see Psycho Mantis. That first cutscene, how do you feel?
Again, a lot of the twins are very similar, and again, this character is very, mysterious, like I said earlier, and creepy, and this scene, again, the music is
on point.
Is probably some of the best music in the game. It's just super enthralling, and I'm in there, and I'm watching it, and I'm freaked out, and, obviously Meryl is, you don't really have a ton of people around you that are not mean to you or hostile to you or want you dead. You have people in the codec that are there, but I think Otacon and Meryl are at least two of these, and I like Meryl. Obviously, again, maybe when we go into characters we'll talk about it more, but the way, I love the way right before this in the toilets, when they're together, and he's the charmer, he is the James Bond, he's cocky but charming, and the girls kind of dig him, and there's some funny stuff here. And again, and the game also has a lot of Japanese stuff. Yeah. Some flavour in there. It's a bit unique.
Very much so. I feel like the Grey Fox cutscenes that you get with him, in the hallway with the dead bodies, is kind of reminiscent to Psycho Mantis, obviously in a bit of a different way. The music's very eerie. The music is something bad's happening. Yeah. And then you see Meryl just switch into a different person. That's where you're like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, it really turns up the supernatural.
Yeah, she just turns to you and says, the commander's waiting, and I'm like, who the hell is this? What's going on here?
Yeah.
And then obviously you go into, you see Psycho Mantis, he's obviously levitating there. Meryl's obviously still under his control, obviously you find out. And this is obviously where it comes into the fourth wall break, which I think is very, very fun and very cool. And you don't really ever see it in video games even now. Yeah. Pretty much if you see it in a video game, the whole game's going for that, like a Deadpool type thing.
Yeah, some comedy.
But this was just, pretty much a very serious game that's just going to throw in the fourth wall break, where he obviously talks about how frequently you've saved and what kind of games you've saved on your memory card and things like that, which at that time mind blows you. And to be fair, if you're not actually know anything about the game, it'll mind blow you still from this day, I think.
Yeah, and when the screen kind of goes crazy, and then you kind of see, I think it's like, was it the Hideo at the top of the screen, which is a shout to Kojima. As a kid, you have no idea who Hideo Kojima is, really. Maybe you've seen the name on the box, maybe, but...
Oh yeah, because the posters change in the background there.
Yeah.
And then obviously Meryl tries to kill herself.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, and you have to actually punch Meryl to stop her doing it.
Yeah. And Snake is very much, as well as being his own character, he's understanding as the player is understanding.
Yeah, which is very good.
What is going on. He's like, what's going on? And you're like, what's going on? You know, so he says a lot of things you're thinking.
I think, yeah, to touch on a little bit of the Grey Fox encounter with Solid Snake, I think that helps you a lot with Grey Fox talking, because if Solid Snake hadn't reacted to that, you would have felt you missed out something.
Yeah.
But because he doesn't have a clue, you don't feel as bad.
Mm-hmm.
So you obviously, you hit Meryl, and then you have the boss fight with Psycho Mantis. We're going to touch more on that on gameplay.
Yep.
I believe. But, well, actually, no, we'll talk about it now.
Okay.
One of the best boss battles I've seen in gaming.
What, Psycho Mantis?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the uniqueness that it brings in, the fact of the controller change, I think it's so well done, and I don't think I've seen anything really like it since.
Yeah.
You're not, and that's definitely a moment where you have to speak to the Colonel to.
Oh yeah.
Find that one out, because
yeah, it's a hard one.
I don't think you're gonna find that out without that.
At least as a kid, it's super hard.
Because you can't basically do any damage to him at that
Yeah.
point without switching your controller into slot 2, which is crazy. And when I remember first got told that, I was like, no way. And you do it and you think, I'm an idiot here. And it actually works, and I'm like, holy crap, this is crazy.
Yeah. Very innovative.
Very innovative. I thought it was cool how he was picking up desks and stuff and just throwing them at you. It was quite unpredictable. And I thought it was a very solid boss battle. I liked that.
Yeah, get all your grenades, throw them at him.
Yeah, pretty much. And it was quite freaky, the cutscene after it, where he actually does help you. And then he reveals your face. And he gives you, again, a bit more foreshadowing. He's like, you're just like the boss.
Yeah. Yeah. Some foreshadowing. And you get lore with the backstory of the character, and again, like a lot of these characters have dark backstories. And Psycho Mantis and his father and everything there. It's a dark story, and you kind of feel for the character a little bit, what he's going through, and the voices in his head and the mind control stuff, and it won't stop.
That's obviously why he's going to use the gas mask. And you obviously learn that, I believe it's at that point where you learn that he's actually controlling all the psyche of the security guards.
Oh yeah.
Which obviously makes him quite a big player in this.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And explains a lot of the reasoning behind this. So yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, I think at the to touch on, I think at the start they're like, how did they get in there this easily? I'm not sure, but I think they might have. And obviously that's why, because he just mind controlled a lot of the guards.
Yeah, because a lot of the remaining people that were guards are now fighting you. And it's like, did they just recruit them? And it's like, no,
which I think is a very good twist. They could have easily just said, oh, they killed all the guards and put their own crones there. So I think that was a cool twist. And I really liked where the next stage where you go into Sniper Wolf's lair with the wolves is very nice. And obviously you've got to use the when you do get the Aggro Chief for Sniper Wolf, use that and they won't attack you, which is a nice touch.
Yeah, I think that whole scene is a phenomenal because again, atmosphere level 10 here.
I was very nervous there.
Yeah.
Because when you're, I don't know, it's something about dogs or you're stealthing from a creature.
Yeah.
I feel there's more on the line.
And the way the camera is and the way you are in this, you don't necessarily know where they are. You can hear the howling around you. Yeah. There's no music playing. It's just really atmospheric.
Because more close in, I believe.
It's very close in.
Yeah.
You're trying to go there. These dogs are here, and again, you will have to backtrack through here.
And then we obviously come to you and Meryl, another mine area. Now you're thinking to yourself, okay, I've got the mine detectors, we're quite fine. You go through, slowly going through the mines and things like that, and then obviously Meryl gets shot.
Oh yeah.
a very good cutscene, very dramatic cutscene.
Kind of catches you unaware. You
Well,
don't
yeah.
expect this is going to happen. Here it comes out of nowhere.
You're walking mines, trying to be careful about that, and then bang, she just gets shot out of nowhere, and you could argue you think she's going down. Because
I thought
very
she was.
dramatic.
I thought so the first time I was a kid. Yeah.
Because she made the performance, the voice actor from Meryl, puts all her mind into that, and you think, oh man, she's going to die. And then it's crazy because you have her on the ground pleading, talking.
Right in the middle.
She's like, leave me, Snake, leave me, Snake. And then you basically gotta have a boss fight with Sniper Wolf. Gotta obviously do some backtracking to get a sniper, but then you have a boss fight with Meryl in the middle with another sniper, which is crazy because, you know, for me anyway, you're trying to focus on the sniper in this boss fight while hearing Meryl scream. It's, you know.
And
so
again,
wonderful.
Solid Snake, the way he is, he doesn't want to leave. Solid
No.
Snake is a man of honor. He wants to try and do it, but this is the whole. Again, we'll get into characters maybe,
Yes.
but Sniper Wolf, she's baiting him out there.
Yeah.
She knows she's gonna die. You've got to do this, and Snake's like, oh, he has to. He can't beat this amazing sniper with nothing. With what he has, he needs a sniper. Even though I have heard that you can cheese it with an RPG. One of the with the lock launchers. I haven't done it. I use a sniper every time because I like to
The
stick to
stinger,
the way it
yeah.
is. Yeah, and then you get your your things to like slow your sniper scope down from moving. Penicillin, yeah. But yeah, just
I
going,
didn't actually use that.
going back through the wolf thing, and backtracking to get the sniper. You actually have to backtrack.
I think it's also.
Yeah, there's a cool scene where you have the rocket launcher and you shoot it and you control the rocket
Oh yeah.
and you go down, round. If you hit anything, it's over. And you have to direct it right into this, and then you hit this thing, and it ends up there's security stuff.
Oh yeah.
And you end up being able to get the sniper eventually.
I think it's next to the Great Fox there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all very. So you start to really get to know Shadow Moses by the backtracking and stuff.
Yeah, Sharon Moses definitely feels like an environment, a character in itself. I love Sharon Moses. So yeah, obviously you Meryl does not die, obviously, because she's beaten out, like you said. At that point, Solid Snake does get captured by Sniper Wolf, and then you obviously see the group of the enemies together, which is very nice.
Yeah.
And you obviously get to know who's in charge for the first. I believe it's the first Liquid Snake cutscene. That's apart from the start.
Yeah, at the start.
So yeah, I believe Ocelot's there, Sniper Wolf's there, Liquid's there, and obviously they're talking about how Mantis is dead, so the psyche on the security guards are wearing off, so they're getting a bit edgy with that. But I thought it was a very good cutscene. Like I said, another cutscene where you see a lot of enemies interacting with each other, and it feels like very much a group effort, a group of enemies. So I like that cutscene a lot. And then obviously the interrogation scene. What's your feelings?
It's one of my favorite scenes in the entire game.
Yeah.
Because, yes, again, I don't like to always go back to being a kid, but you're a kid, you're playing it, and you're kind of nervous, and you're down there, and every time Snake feels the pain, they make you kind of feel it.
Oh yeah.
Because of his shout, and and this is where you're really like, this Ocelot character is the real deal.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to mess with this guy. At this point, you're still kind of like, oh, you're perceiving him as the number 2 to Liquid.
Yes.
A lot of the stuff is not as it seems.
No.
With the Ocelot character again, you never know. But yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome, and I'm trying to survive as long as I can. Again, it's going back as an adult. It's actually easier, but still, it's there. It's there. The nervousness.
I still think it's quite a tricky. You gotta mash
A lot of button mashing.
for your life on that.
Yeah. They don't make it easy for you, like.
You gotta mash for your life. Like you said, Snake cries out in pain a lot of the time. And again, this is a great thing of, this is where your multiple endings comes into play, but you don't realise it.
Yeah, they never tell you.
You can obviously fail this and the game continues on. And I believe it's failing to get Octagon Meryl is for surviving, I believe.
Yeah.
So you don't even, these characters' fates are in your hand, you just don't even know it yet, which is awesome.
Usually when you make a choice, you're making a choice. But yeah.
So I thought that was very well done and very very great. And then you're in the prison cell, which is very cool. And again, this has multiple ways to get out of the prison cell.
Yeah, I think a lot of people straight away is like, let's head into the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think the go-to is here.
A lot of people are hiding under the bed. Obviously, the ketchup you can use to believe it's blood to lower, prone on it to lower it, and this is not hand fed to you either. You gotta, you gotta think about this.
Yeah, even if you call the codexes,
they even make hints, but
yeah, they do. And at first, the hints are very. No, they're not even hints. They're just look around, nothing in there.
Yeah. Yeah. So the beauty about this prison cell is, you can get Octagon to let you out. You can get Grey Fox to let you out. Obviously, the other two methods of going into the bed and the ketchup. So there's a lot to play here, and like I said, it doesn't hand feed you, so you have to be creative.
Yeah. I love that part because you're trapped. I think they take all the stuff away from you.
Yeah.
And you can obviously hear the conversations with the guards and the whole toilet thing, which we know from the Metal Gear series is
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that's where you find out that there's a Darth Chief body that's dead in there, busting up, bloody.
Yeah.
And it's not the same one as the last one.
Yeah.
So you're very much like, what the hell's going on here? We'll probably talk more about that in character, but all you know at the point is Octagon's killed the Darth Chief in torture.
I think you kind of had to go into it here.
Well, okay, we can go into here. So yeah, he's killed. You obviously find out. You're like, how's he been tortured? By and killed by Ocelot, because I believe you overhear that.
Yeah.
And obviously, then you find out, which is one of the biggest
plot
twist is Decoy Octopus, who you do get told about, I believe, in mission briefings. Obviously, his thing is decoy, being camouflaged, just undercover as someone else. He was the original.
Yeah, and I can't remember if it's before this or after this. I believe it's before we do hear Liquid make a comment about it, about Decoy Octopus. Doesn't reveal the thing to you or nothing.
Yeah.
But you do hear Liquid mention the name.
He says something like he didn't get the information in time. Because we'll get into that later.
You don't let me down, to Ocelot.
Yeah, I think he does say Ocelot just went too crazy as well with the torture. Obviously it does establish this whole scene that Ocelot is and this is going to go further down the line, but he's interrogation expert. And he's very brutal on him.
Yeah.
But Decoy Octopus stuff was great, because that was another huge twist. So yeah, you obviously come out of there. You eventually get your stuff back. I think it's actually quite close to that.
It's very close.
And then obviously go into the next scene, and I believe you do start speaking to Octagon again on the codex.
Yeah.
He obviously directs you through a certain scenario.
Yeah. After you see him after that part, because he has stealth camo now.
Yes. Yeah. So he can move freely without you.
He can move freely without you, even though I'm thinking, I'm the James Bond, give it to me.
Yeah.
But he's a scared character, and he needs to do some stuff to help some.
Yeah. He's trying to get around. It is quite a thing for him not to be with you, gameplay wise. Put some logic in there.
Yeah.
Another scene that I believe comes close is the elevator scene.
Oh, I love the elevator scene.
The elevator scene was freaky as well, because you don't even realise there's people on there.
Yeah.
Obviously going up, and then Octagon goes, there's other people on the elevator.
Yeah, and you just look around, you're like, oh my god.
And then obviously they come out of stealth camo, and I think you actually fight them when they got stealth camo on, and you could have been, sometimes I'm like just fighting.
Yeah, you can make them come out of it.
Yeah, but I tell you, that was tricky.
I think you fight 4 or 5 guys in the elevator or something. I can't remember how many there is.
I think it's 3.
Is it 3?
There's 3, but it was quite tricky. Because you kind of had, obviously you had a 3-punch combo and then he slowed down Snake, so you kind of had to obviously predict where they were going to be and things like that. But that was a surprise and very cool when Octagon brought that up. The Harrier boss fight with Liquid. What's your feelings on that?
Well, when you have the whole thing of going up the stairs, and the elevator stuff, I love how he kind of chases you with it, and then there's some mysterious stuff that happens here because Ocelot, Liquid, you can't get any further up some of the stairs or come further down. So I was actually stuck when I went back on my recent playthrough for a second of what do I do here, because I can't go any further down here, and then there's I think an elevator that won't work.
Right.
And so you're trying to get up there, and yeah, he's coming and chasing you, and you're just going up. I love this whole thing. This whole scene.
You see him all the time.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the parts that I remembered a lot more in my recent playthrough and gave it a lot more credit. Because you were really nervous. Yeah, you were really nervous. You're trying to run. He's this shooting us, and he's talking to you with it, taunting you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, him and Liquid. Ocelot and Liquid do like to talk crap whilst fighting you.
Yeah,
especially
it's a Metal Gear trope in a way, but yeah. Especially villains.
Liquid's obviously got a big mouth, but yeah, that's quite an intense fight, especially because when you get tagged by these bullets, it does quite a lot of damage to get back in time. Yeah, I remember when I played that, it was the stamina game. I had quite a while. Lasted for me.
Imagine your stamina, imagine your health.
So that was a very nice boss fight up high.
We used the RPG to lock on.
Yeah, the stinger. Yeah, I think you had to get the stinger there, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very good fight. And then I believe not long after that is when you get the second sniper wolf thing.
Yeah.
Which I thought the first one was a very good boss fight. I liked this one as well. Probably better as a boss fight, but I liked how the other one had Meryl because of the trees and she would hide behind them, and it was obviously outside in the snow, which was quite cool as well. I think, well, I'll probably talk about that more in the gameplay, but I think this is the one gameplay bit that doesn't hold up the best because there's no analog, because it's arrows, but you can get once you get used to the way it works, you can make it work for you, but it was a bit tricky.
Yeah, and obviously nowadays you can play with analogs. You play the Vita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I originally also played with analogs, which was hard because you couldn't obviously. There was no motion to go slowly. It was. We'd always go too far.
And she will hide behind things and try and snipe you, and you're pushing across. Like I said, this is the part that I was talking about the cheesing. But yeah, it's just a good fight. I think it's because of the diazepam to control the scope from moving around, shaking. I don't want to say it feels clunky, but they don't make it like super like. If it was super responsive, it'd be an easy fight.
Yeah. So yeah, that could be true of why the toned that down a wee bit. But I thought it was a very good fight. After obviously. It's quite strange after this, because this is obviously where Metal Gear comes into play over other games, because you do feel for this character in her death. Like, Second Man has had a backstory and you're like, holy shit, but you kind of felt like she died as a goodie a wee bit.
Yeah, and obviously some of these characters are just douchebags, to be honest, and they're mean to a lot of people, whereas she had taken a bit of a liking to Otacon.
Yeah.
And she would, even though he was basically a prisoner, she wouldn't be as harsh as I'm sure a lot of people were.
Yeah, because I believe that's where, doesn't he get the Otacon give him the handkerchief?
Yeah, and also I do want to say that Otacon clearly likes her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I think after this boss battle is probably the most touching scene in the game, arguably, with Sniper Wolf and Otacon.
I think it's the most emotional. Yeah,
the music nails it.
I think that wolf actually cries out.
There's crying wolves. There's music. There's him crying over her. Solid Snake's here.
She helps him by explaining where to go next and things like that. Like I said, she died as a goodie, and I believe Solid Snake shoots her one last time to put her out of misery because I think she's already injured.
Yeah. She's bleeding out.
But very cool character, very cool gimmick with the wolves and being a sniper, and very unusual for a bad guy to go that way.